right, here we are again. DC covers Bond. All right, so this one is Diamonds Are Forever, 1971. 2-hour movie. This is Guy Hamilton's second directed movie. He directed Goldfinger, my personal favorite one so far. Bond is back for the last Eon Productions Bond. This is the last outing. He was 41 years old when he did this. He would go on to play Bond one more time in Never Say Never Again, but that is not a canon Bond. So, yeah, go brew. Cocoa Pebbles Creamer, what's up? Anyway, your Bond girls here: Tiffany Case, played by Jill St. John. Plenty O'Toole, played by Lana Wood. You had Bambi and Thumper, played by Lola Larson, and Trina Parks. Her name is Lucy. Trying to remember. Trina Parks. Okay, yeah, Trina Parks. And then a girl named Marie, but she's in it very little. Blofeld, his final appearance until the reboot. This is his fifth movie. Our cars are a beautiful Ford Mustang Mach 1, a Moon Buggy, and the Aston Martin DB5. The song, Diamonds Are Forever, by Shirley Bassey. Shirley Bassey, of course, did Goldfinger. So, I'll say that this one is my least favorite so far. You Only Live Twice was, but this one is very much beneath You Only Live Twice. I wouldn't say it's way beneath, but it's not great. It's just kind of boring. The plot doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and you can tell that Sean Connery just does not care. He's so bored with this role. And if you're wondering, like, well, he retired, why is he doing another Bond? Well, he came back because 1.2 million is a lot of money in 1971. In fact, he held the record for highest paid for one movie at 1.2 million. He was in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. But the thing is, he donated all 1.2 million to his charity to help Scottish education. So that's kind of cool. And along with the 1.2 million, he was also told that United Artists, the production company, was going to produce 2 films of his choice. So he got a good deal out of it. This was actually supposed to be, the plot line was supposed to be Goldfinger's twin brother. We were even going to have Gert Frobe come back as Goldfinger. And this was going to be his twin brother getting revenge on Bond for killing him. Didn't happen, clearly. So I think it actually probably would have worked out better because it would have made sense. This one just didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, the whole diamond thing, and it was, yeah. So let's just move on. Starting it out here, the cold open is basically a continuation of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So this is Bond, Angry Bond, Bond Smash. Bond is basically you see Bond choking people, and it's not showing his face like, oh, we don't need him to know that it's Sean Connery, but then you hear, where's Blofeld? You can tell it's Sean Connery. And he's like, he's choking people, where's Blofeld? Punching people, where's Blofeld? And it's just cutting to him beating up different people, where's Blofeld? He comes up to one girl. This is where we meet Marie, which we never get her name. All it is a girl in a bikini. He's in there, and weirdly, Bond rips off her bikini. Her breasts fall out. You see them clearly. That's just nudity in a PG film again. And he wraps the bikini around her throat, and he's like choking her. Where's Blofeld? You know, very Deadpool-esque. You know, it's, if no one knows what I'm talking about. You know, because he was. So, anyway, he chokes her out with a bikini, and he's working his way to him, and he finally runs into Blofeld. Looks familiar because he was in You Only Live Twice as Deco Henderson, the same actor. Okay, no one's gonna notice. Just make him be Blowfield. Make him be the most important villain in Bond history. You know, no one's gonna notice because that guy had 2 scenes and you only live twice. Not to worry about it. Yeah, it'll be fine. No, that's Charles Gray. That's Charles Gray. Yeah. Um, yeah. So we get to the point where it turns out that Blowfield is having surgery to make him look like different people. And he finds this Blowfield and he kills him, throws him in a vat of boiling what is actually mashed potatoes. Throws him in there, and he's like, "Yeah, he finally got revenge." And you're looking at Bond and Sean Connery. You finally see that it's Sean Connery, but it wasn't supposed to be Sean Connery. They were looking for someone to play Bond this whole time, and there were some names thrown out. There was Clint Eastwood. There was Adam West. Batman. Just like in the last one. Here we go. There was Burt Reynolds. Luckily, all 3 of these guys were like, "Look, Bond needs to be British," so we didn't get that. But there was one guy that actually signed the dotted line. He signed a contract, and that is John Gavin. Who is John Gavin? He is clearly Sam Loomis from Psycho. He actually signed the contract, and then suddenly they were like, well, we can get Sean Connery back if we give him this. So they gave Sean Connery the money, and Sean Connery came back, and they just paid John Gavin. They paid his contract. They're like, "No, you'll get paid," and they want him to wait in the wings. Like, "Hey, wait. If someone backs out, you can be Bond." So he is contracted to be Bond past this movie. And if you watch other episodes of this, I'll probably get into John Gavin and what happened to him. So we see it. He's killed Blowfield, and it's kind of a opening because you're like, "Oh, okay, so he's been chasing Blowfield for so long, and he just kills him so easily." Like, all right, whatever. Kind of disappointing, you know. Title screen. Diamonds are forever. Yes, we see a lot of diamonds, guns, and cats, and ladies. Just diamonds raining down, cats running around, ladies walking around like cats. It's Mr. Bigglesworth. It's Blowfield's cat. And you hear "Diamonds are forever," and some of you may recognize that. Why would you recognize that? Because Kanye West did a song called "Diamonds" from Sierra Leone, and he sampled it. Yeah, the rock is alive and you feel the vibe forever, forever, ever. Yeah. I don't listen to rap a lot, but I'm more of a metal guy. You know, guitars, if there ain't guitars and screaming in it, and I probably won't like it. So we get done. The title screen's over, and we open up to see our villains, Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd. Mr. Kidd, played by Putter Smith. Mr. Wint, on the left there, is played by on the left there, it was played by Bruce Glover. Why does that name sound familiar? And why does he look so familiar? I'll tell you why. Because Bruce Glover is the father of Crispin Glover. Ooh, we all know Crispin Glover. Why do we all know Crispin Glover? Why? Because this happened. Go Crispin, go Crispin, go Crispin. Get it, get it, get it, get it. That actually happened. Friday the 13th. I think it's Friday the 13th 4. That's a dance he did. He was dancing to Back in Black, but they changed the song. That happened in history. That's a thing. Just saying, dude. Just saying. Anyway, so we are going forth. We meet the 2 assassins, Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd. They are evil, evil, evil people. They are killing people, and they kill a man. And when you watch this, you watch the scene. They are walking away, holding hands. 1971. And it's not said, it's not made official, but if you're wondering where I'm getting all these facts and all these who directed, who did the song and all that, I get that from a book. I have the Bond Encyclopedia. It's a very thick book. And Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd are homosexuals. are gay. But it's 1971. They can't really say that. They can't really make it official. But they are. They let them hold hands as they walked away. And it's like, well, you can't really do that. We're not really supposed to show that kind of stuff. And they basically said that they're just really good friends, you know. But in canon, they are gay. They are a gay assassination, gay assassins. I think they're in the book and they're gay. They have a name. It's not the name. I can't remember offhand, but the name sounds a lot like Rainbow Warriors. It's like that, but it's not that. But yeah, they're gay, man. So, you know, and the thing is, they're two of the coolest assassins. Like they're so evil. I love them. I love them so much. They actually capture Bond several times. Like assassins can't say that. They capture. They don't just try to kill him. They try to capture him and torture him. It's very cool. All right, so we go forward in the movie, and we see Moneypenny about 15 minutes in. Moneypenny's doesn't have a normal thing. She walks over to Bond's car and has some conversation. Bond's like, "Oh, if you're wearing that, you know." She's saying she looks pretty, but the thing is, it was a trick of editing, and Sean Connery and Moneypenny were never actually in the same area. Unfortunately, they didn't even film the lines in the same place. So, sadness that Moneypenny and Sean Connery never got to do anything. But oh well. We go further 18 minutes in, and we meet the wonderful Tiffany Case, played by Jill St. John. She was in the running, and she only because Miss Raquel Welch, Miss Jane Fonda, and Miss Faye Dunaway, they all went to audition, but they didn't get it. They kind of turned it down, and Jill St. John took over. So that's a very cool thing. And like, let's go ahead and skip forward because this is this is where it gets like, oh, we need some diamonds. There's diamonds. We meet Tiffany Case is very smart. She's taken Bond's fingerprints and to make sure who he is, because he gives her a different name, and it turns out that she uses the fingerprint thing and it's the different name. He's like, oh, okay, so it is him. But she still is very wary, and they're stealing diamonds. They're going to steal the diamonds. They got the diamonds. What are they going to do? They take the diamonds, and there's an elevator fight. And the elevator fight, he's fighting him, he kills the guy. And Tiffany Case checks his pocket, and it's like, it's James Bond. You've killed James Bond. And James is over there like, what? James Bond? So he killed James Bond. And they're like, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to put the diamonds in him, and they are going to ship him off to get cremated. And that's what they do. They ship him off to get cremated. And they do it. The diamonds come out. We got the diamonds. And he trades out money for the diamonds. He walks away. But the problem is, Wint and Kid are there to bonk him on the head. And they put him into a casket, seal it shut, and try to cremate him. This is why I like the Assassins. It's awesome. They try to cremate him, fire, everything. He's like, and there is no way Bond is getting out of here. He's like, okay. But finally, he gets out, and they open up the casket, and it's the other bad guys. And he's like, yeah, he's like, where are our diamonds? And he was like, well, you give me the real money, and I'll give you the real diamonds, you know. So Bond is kind of playing a sort of a bad guy here, but he ends up escaping, going to a casino. And we meet, 37 minutes in, Plenty O'Toole, which is a really bad name. And he even says, well, hopefully you got that name from your father. Yeah, and he's playing, he gives her $5,000 after winning at craps, and it's so strange. He goes up to her room, they're gonna have some action and everything. She's gets naked. And then the henchmen pop in and they throw her out the window, and she lands in the pool. God. She lands in the pool, and Bond just looks out the window. Good aim. And the guy's like, I didn't even know there was a pool down there. So she lands in the pool, but there's a funny little thing here where Later on, she is unfortunately drowned by they tie a cinder block to her leg to hold her under the pool. And in real life, Lana Wood was a swimmer, and they were doing the scene where they had to record her under the water, dead. And what had happened was the cinder block tied to her ankle. They really did that. You know, whenever you're in a pool, it kind of goes down, and the cinder block started sliding down and taking her with it, and she almost drowned. Luckily, the crew caught her and like brought her up, cut the line. It's like, oh wow, I was so sorry, but that's a cool little tidbit. Not really cool that a woman almost died, but you know, it's something. So anyway, Bond goes out, and him and Tiffany they do the thing. This is a low love count, by the way, because he only gets with one. So we're getting there. Tiffany and Bond get the thing, and then we start getting into the action. And this is what makes the movie kind of is the action doesn't really start until about 52 minutes in. Like, yeah, you have some fights and stuff like that, but the real action doesn't start until 52 minutes into this 2-hour movie. It's very long. But he gets into the Mustang. We're driving the Mustang around, or we're not driving the Mustang around. We see the Mustang finally. Mustang, oh, so pretty. And he's going to the base. He goes to Blowfield's. It's kind of his new base. It's where they're building a new weapon. We don't know what it is yet. And this is why we need the diamonds. So he's building this weapon, and there's weird things where he's running away from the henchmen, and he runs onto this moon set where you see a moon landing, a moon buggy, everything, and then he gets into the moon buggy. It's the ugliest thing in the world. And he's driving off, but not before he's running through this moon set. And there's these 2 astronauts on the moon set, and Bond is like just running like crazy, and these astronauts are just slowly moving, like, oh, and then you see like 3 other guys chasing Bond, and still the astronauts are just no. So it's very strange. I'm like, why are they moving so slow? Can't they just kind of pop off their helmets and go, gotcha? I don't know, man, that was weird. But we start a car chase. He gets in he's riding in the moon buggy, and he rides it around until he finally gets out of the moon buggy and jumps into the Mustang, and we get a very Blues Brothers, Smokey and the Bandit type chase. Blues Brothers because they're going through cars and dodging everything, and Smokey and the Bandit because they're being chased by cops, and the cops are running into each other, and just, I mean, you basically get the Smokey and the Bandit chase, where the cops are just flying off and landing on each other, and you actually have points where cops are flying off and landing on each other. So it's very strange. But then you get one of the cooler points of the chase, where the Mustang's in there, and they're going through a dead end, through a little bitty alleyway, and you get this. Yeah, doing that sideways, going through, driving. Awesome. It's one of the cooler moments. In 1971, this was absolutely unheard of. CGI didn't exist. They had to do this for real and drive on 2 wheels. So cool. So cool. But let's go ahead and skip to the near end here, where he finally goes into the lair of Blowfield. And there's many Blowfields. You see Charles Gray over here, Charles Gray over here, Charles Gray over here, Charles Gray. There's like a bunch of Blowfields. He's got clones, man. He's got clones. And he's in there. And then you see the little cat. You see Mr. Bigglesworth coming by, and he's like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And he's going to scare the cat. And whoever he jumps to is the real Blowfield. So he scares cats, jumps into Blowfield, pow, pops him in his skull. Kills Blowfield again. But then the Blowfield's sitting at the table's like, you think you got me? And then like 4 Mr. Bigglesworths come out. You're like, he's like, oh, wrong pushy. Yeah. That happened. So he's been thwarted. He didn't get the right Blowfield, and Wint and Kid take him again. This time they bury him alive in a pipe. They put him in a pipe and they put him down and bury him alive. He wakes up in the pipe, and he just starts walking down the pipe, and there's a little robot cleaning the pipe with electricity. He jumps on it, breaks it, and the maintenance people have to come and fix it, and they open up the hatch, and Bond emerges. Oh, I was out walking my rat, and I got turned around. Yeah. So he survives again. twice survives these two. We are an hour and 26 minutes in where they're looking for a guy named Willard White. He's the guy that runs the casinos, and he's kind of he's like a southern guy. He's like from Texas or whatever. And let's see, this is where the plot of the movie comes from, because the director Guy Hamilton had a dream that he was really good friends with Howard Hughes, the pilot, inventor, whatever, and he was really good friends with him. And he had a dream that someone was impersonating him, and this is where the plot for the whole thing comes. He had a dream, and Blofeld is impersonating this Willard White guy who runs all the casinos. That way he has an unlimited amount of money, he has access to these diamonds, and he's going to create this massive thing, this weapon. You'll see. Get to that. The next cool thing was Q. Q is he's playing slots, and he's winning at all these slots. He's pulling the lever, winning. He's getting 3 bars every time, and that's because he has this ring that he puts to the side of the slot machine, and it gets bar every time. He actually is cheating, and I need that ring. But all the slot machines are digital now. But he's winning. That's all that matters. So we're but before we get to when we find Willard White, he goes to where Willard White is, and you meet Bambi and Thumper. Bambi and Thumper are Willard White's bodyguards. Apparently they're Bond girls, but I don't think they're Bond girls, because they're just 2 girls that are beating the crap out of Bond, and then Bond is like drowning them in a pool. Yeah, he's like holding them underwater. He's like, "Where's Willard White?" Yeah, but we find Willard White, and he's a Texan. Awesome. And Willard decides that he is going to help Bond find Blofeld, and not before he's almost shot by another assassin. But we finally go into, what is it? This layer. And we get the big plot of the movie where he's taking all these diamonds to create a space laser beam. And the laser beam is going to take out the missiles of the world. He's using it to, he actually does it a couple times. He's taking out atomic bombs, missiles blowing up, boom, boom, doing all the boom booms. Laser beam, boom, calls it Preparation H, because Preparation A through G didn't work. So it calls it Preparation H. That's actually not what happened. That happened in Austin Powers. Because Preparation H feels good on the whole. Using the laser beam, but what he's going to do, the whole plot here, is to hold the planet ransom. He's going to hold the planet ransom. If you don't give me X amount of money, $1 billion, $100 million, if you don't give me that, I will blow up all these missiles. And then after doing that, he's going to auction off the weapon to terrorists. Say, yeah, this you can use this. You can buy this off me, and then you can hold the planet ransom. But wait, there's more. As seen on TV, the space laser beam. Maybe get Billy to do that, just like he did with OxyClean. Fantastic. I would actually get the ShamWow guy to do it. The ShamWow guy would be much, much better at selling this. But so he goes in there. Bond's pretty much captured. He's gonna have to take this little cassette tape and switch out the cassette tape, and that's gonna stop the laser beam. But he finds Tiffany Case there. Tiffany Case is working with Blofeld, but turns out she's not. She's just undercover. And he's in there, takes it, and he switches out the tape. He takes the old tape, and he's like, I'm going to give it to her so they don't search me. And instead, he looks her dead in the eye and says, "Bitch." Then puts it in her bikini bottoms and says, "Your problems are all behind you now." And she takes that wrong and switches the tapes back. And he's like, "You twit, I already switched the tape." So she has, now the laser's back, they're back armed. Great. And then we get the oil rig attack, which is just like pretty much the exact same thing as the layer attack from the previous movie. It wasn't anything special, just a lot of boom, 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 helicopters, crap. And the one cool thing about it is Blofield's trying to get escape again. He's in his little escape hatch. He's going to go underwater, but Bond catches him before he can leave, and he puts it on the crane, and he's just slamming Blofield and everything. And it's actually quite funny. He's bouncing him off like a ping pong ball, and he's just bouncing. And basically, what happens is the same thing that happens in all Bond movies. He stops it. Explosions happen. Blofield's gone. Blofield's actually dead this time. He's gone, and we all end done. And it ends with Bond on a cruise with Tiffany Case. And Bond is having a good time and everything, and they get two caterers come up with food, and it's Mr. Winton, Mr. Kidd. They're going to take him out one more time. They have a huge bomb and a cake and everything. They're just distracting him, putting the food down, all that noise, until he realizes, he's like, "I know that cologne." He's like, he knows that they're there, and so Mr. Wint starts to strangle him, and for some reason, Mr. Kidd brings up two kebabs, sets him on fire, and I don't know what he's gonna do with him, like poke him with them, maybe hit him, put him on fire, I don't know. But Bond actually takes the alcohol, throws it on him, and Kidd gets set on fire, and his little partner is like, "No, my partner," and he's like, oh, he sets on fire, he's crazy, he falls off the ship, and then lands, and he starts to float, which is funny. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna kill you," and he does that. So Tiffany picks up the cake, and he's like, "Well, take this." She doesn't know the bomb's in there. The bomb goes flying, and it's like, oh, wait, there was a bomb there the whole time. And finally, Bond gets Mr. Wint off of him and takes the shirt tails, tucks it between his legs, ties the bomb to it, throws him off the ship, and he explodes midair and lands in the water. He's dead. Boom, guts everywhere. He's like, he went away with his tail between his legs. And that's the end. Credits roll. I like this one, but it's, man, 7 out of 10. Body count of 7, love count of 1. Just didn't do it. But, however, that is the end of the first leg of this whole Bond adventure. We are done with the Sean Connery era. It's over. Sean Connery and George Lazenby, out the door. Next up is Live and Let Die, and we start the Roger Moore era. And the Roger Moore era is one of my best friends in the world, Charcy Lux. It's her favorite Bond. So she loves herself some Roger Moore, and I love that. So, but on the next one, you'll see me, Live and Let Die from 1973. Guy Hamilton, the director, is back. Roger Moore is here. We meet Solitaire, which is awesome. We get new villains, who is played by Yaphet Kotto. I love Yaphet Kotto. The car's weird, and we get Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney. I'm actually named after Paul McCartney, my middle name. So, but we'll see when we get there, man. It's going to be good. I want to thank everyone for watching, and especially the people who followed me through this whole first leg of this. There's a lot more to go. I think there's 19 more to go. With the Roger Moore leg, we're going to review 8 films, all 7 of Roger Moore's films, and the Never Say Never Again with Sean Connery, which is not even canon, so it won't even be included in the rankings in the last one. So, thank you once again for joining this. This has been awesome. We'll continue it some more. Thank you for watching. Live and Let Die is next, y'all. We got it.